The biggest threats today are coming from the organized online crime gangs. Yes, there are governmental attacks, there are hacktivists, but the biggest problems are coming from the people who are trying to make money with their attacks. And in that space, we are seeing biggest developments happening right now around fraud regarding cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin or Monero or Zcash or others. And then the other big development are new risks around connected devices or the Internet of Things.
Yeah, okay, yeah. And around the Internet of Things, whose responsibility is it to get, as it were, ordinary people to care about security?
The consumer goods that we buy to our houses will never become more secure if we consumers don't demand better security. Like when you go shopping for a microwave oven or a washing machine, the most important selling point for appliances is price. We're always asking about the price. We're not asking about security features or firewalls or intrusion prevention technologies in these devices. And that means that the vendors who build these devices don't want to invest in security because that would only make the product more expensive, and price is the most important selling point, and the features they would get would be the features nobody's asking for. So the responsibility is with the vendors, but they're not really going to change unless they are forced to change by either customers or by regulation.
Do you see regulations coming on that area?
There's regularly calls for regulation on home appliances, especially home appliances. It's not really the same thing when you speak about connected devices in factories or in enterprise use, but especially in homes, because we already have regulation around safety of electrical devices in your house, but there's nothing about security of the electrical devices in your house. So when you buy an IoT washing machine, you can be fairly certain that it's not going to give you an electric shock, and it's not going to catch fire, but it will leak your Wi-Fi password.
And AI is obviously another big area within this cyberspace. Can AI help us stop cyber threats?
The amount of threats that we are seeing today keeps on growing. On a typical day, we stop and analyze hundreds of thousands of different attacks and malware samples. And when you're speaking about hundreds of thousands of cases, it's quite obvious that you cannot handle that with human power. So we need computers to help us. And that's what security companies like F-Secure have already been doing for several years. We didn't initially call it machine learning or artificial intelligence, but basically that's what it is. We are teaching computers to tell the difference between bad programs and good programs, and this is already being done.
Okay. And how is the development in that area, would you say, in the AI area? Is it getting much better? Are we getting more secure thanks to that?
Yes, we are getting better, clearly, because of these new automation technologies. The biggest problem we have is finding the talent gap. Where do we find the people who are able to do data analysis, to do machine learning, and to program artificial intelligence systems?
And could we possibly turn it around? Could the bad guys use AI against us in some way?
Right. It actually is a very scary thought that machine learning or AI systems would be used by criminals. And I do think it is something we have to take seriously, and I do think we will see it, but I don't think it's going to be a problem in the near future. And the reason why I don't think it's going to be a problem anytime soon is actually related to what I just said. I said we have a huge skills gap and talent gap. We're ready to import machine learning specialists from anywhere in the world if we can find them. And this means if you know something about machine learning and you have skills in this area, you don't have to go into life of crime. No. You can get a well-paying job with your skills, and it doesn't matter where you are. I mean, even if you are somewhere in, countryside of China or in the middle of Siberia or somewhere in Sao Paulo, you will still be able to get a job with these skills because they are so much in demand. And I think that's going to cut down in the amount of crime related to machine learning, at least in the short run.
And also you mentioned Bitcoins earlier. I mean, is it a threat because it's a payment? You can pay with it to bad guys do bad things, or are blockchains also part of a thing that you can use against someone else? Or
we're seeing a lot of traditional financial fraud moving to targeting cryptocurrency-based systems. So, for example, big part of phishing attacks, which used to target PayPal, online stores, and online banks, big part of that is moving to target cryptocurrency exchange systems. Also, the same thing with hackings. Like instead of breaching the security of an online store, we now see a lot of breaching of the security of cryptocurrency companies. And the reason why this is happening is that the valuations of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Monero, Zcash and others is going through the roof. And the security of these companies is, well, these are startups run by 20 or 30 or 40 people. What's the level of security they have compared to the level of security some legacy bank has, which has 1,000 people working with security. So there's a huge difference in security, but the amount of money you can steal from a cryptocurrency exchange can be in the billions of euros. And the best part for criminals, if you get to the money, then it's game over. Then you can take the money and run, and we will never be able to find you.
Yeah, but isn't the perk, as it were, with bitcoins and cryptocurrencies that they're supposed to be very, very secure?
Cryptocurrencies are in many ways more secure than any of the traditional currencies, but they're also very anonymous or let's say pseudonymous. We can see transactions happening, but we can't figure out who are the people doing these transactions. And that's a very valuable feature for privacy, but it's also a very valuable feature for criminals. We can't follow the money when criminals use cryptocurrencies. This is why we have, for example, ransom Trojans.
Mikko Hyppönen, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.